I'm still muted. Can you hear me now? All right, cool. Anyways, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Black Side of Liberty. It's your man, Governor Wildstar, and I'm here for you to talk a little bit more about what's going in our world, in America, here happening now, and how we can bring some truth to light. Because it's a lot of lies, like my shirt says. Truth is treason in the empire of lies, straight up. And it's a lot of people being seduced right now by certain narratives, whether it be regarding the coronavirus, the Black Lives Matter protests, police brutality, criminal justice reform, all that good stuff. So we're going to be talking to someone who is very well knowledged in fighting for freedom of speech very shortly, and who I'll be introducing to you. But first, you know what I need to do? I need to let you guys know where you can find me, because I need you to continue to keep connecting with me. And it's definitely working. Keep spreading the word. My YouTube channel is over 26,000 subscribers. That's right, 26,000 subscribers. I want to hit 30,000. That's my next landmark right there. If we can hit 30,000. And on my Facebook, I got about 1,400 people. I'm trying to hit 2,000 on Facebook. So 30,000 on YouTube, 2,000 on Facebook. I got about 3,600 on Instagram. I'm trying to hit 5,000 on Instagram. So help me hit those numbers. If you want to connect with me, of course, visit my website, governorwildstar.com. And right there, you can find all the social media icons for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And of course, you can find me on YouTube as Governor Wildstar. So please spread the word. Please share these videos and help get the word out there, because this liberty movement is all about us, we the people, keeping each other informed. Fuck the fake news. Let's focus on keeping each other informed straight from the streets, okay? So, and of course, please definitely subscribe. Help me get those numbers up. Tell your friends to follow me. Tell your friends to jump on board with the liberty movement. And if you got some dollars, want to put your money where your mouth is and help your boy out, help me expand this audience by running some ads on YouTube, which costs a pretty fucking penny. Please donate on my website, governorwildstar.com. All right. So with no further ado, oh yeah, and of course, please definitely drop a comment, like my man Anthony right here. Hold on, let me get this right. I'm trying to get it right. All right, there we go. Anthony just dropped a comment, said, "What's up?" Hey, while you are watching, please definitely comment, drop a question during the broadcast, and I'll do my best to get it on screen, like my man Anthony right here. But with no further ado, I do want to introduce to you my guest, because I want to be respectful of his time and introduce him to the world. Kevin Shaw, welcome to the Black Side of Liberty, my man. Hold on, let me fix that shit. How you doing, brother, man?
It's another beautiful day, my friend. How are you?
Hey, fantastically well. And I appreciate you for being on the Black Side of Liberty. Brother Kevin Shaw, he is the chairman of the Libertarian Party for San Fernando Valley and ... So I'm going to let him tell you a bit more about who the hell he is. Kevin, tell the people out there, who is Kevin Shaw?
I am but a humble activist. Like you, I work in the Libertarian Party. I've done all kinds of stuff up to the national level, worked with my county and the state. Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I spend a lot of time on political activism.
I was about to say, man, don't be modest here. My man right here has definitely fought all too hard for the cause of liberty, not only in the Libertarian Party, but as a candidate. He was running as a candidate, I believe, for somewhere in Los Angeles where you are. And he also is a writer for Think Liberty, a journalist for Think Liberty, very well-known libertarian podcast and media publication. And he is also a champion, for freedom of speech. This motherfucker right here championed all the way for freedom of speech to the what? To the Justice Department for the entire country, right?
Yes, sir. I did have a national lawsuit against the Los Angeles Community College District, and we did succeed.
Whoa. Now, see, and that's a tremendous feat because not too many people are able to do such a thing. And for those that don't know what a free speech zone is, that's basically a designated area in a public place where they tell you that you are allowed to express yourself. Okay. And these are on colleges, they're at Walmart and shopping centers, and they're, again, designated zones, and anything outside of that zone is considered a not free speech zone, you know? So my man here, Kevin Shaw, fought for these free speech zones at his college in Pierce College in Los Angeles, and took that case all the way to the Justice Department, which actually vindicated him. And I mean, a lot of people, believe it or not, they will sign off on supporting a free speech zone. They say, okay, well, that actually sounds like a good idea. You know, we don't want people running around campus, promoting whatever free speech they may feel like is okay. And some people may not want to hear that. So they think it's okay for these free speech zones to exist. So why would you even want to fight against such a thing? Why was it so important where you felt like you needed to argue this all the way to the Justice Department?
Well, I think Frederick Douglass made the point perfectly. He said that to abridge free speech doesn't just offend the rights of the speaker, it offends the rights of the listener. I have a right to hear things that you might find offensive. I have a right to think for myself and come to my own conclusions. So if a school, an institution where we're allowed to, learn and grow as people is telling us what we can and can't hear, that somewhat limits us and our ability to think for ourselves.
Yeah, and like I was saying, even with these free speech zones at Target or Walmart or whatever the case may be, if you go out there to petition for signatures or something like that, or want to sell some Girl Scout cookies, you have to sit in that free speech zone. Not all the time do we actually see that happening, but it more so seems like they use these free speech zones as a way to discriminate against those people that they don't really want, out in the open, freely expressing themselves. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It seems like certain opinions are allowed to be expressed publicly. On my own campus, the example I often give is there was an anti-Trump protest, and the administration was pretty sympathetic to that, so they let it go on, and it was huge. It flooded the walkways. People had megaphones. They broke all the rules. Nothing. But my group, just a small libertarian group, we were out there passing out copies of the Constitution in Spanish, trying to protest Trump's wall and be pretty unifying and everything. They threatened to call the cops on us and have us removed because we looked more, I don't know, conservative, I guess. So, yeah, it's pretty arbitrary.
Yeah, definitely. And it is discriminatory. It's crazy because they can be prejudiced against you, but you can't be prejudiced against them. And when you are out there exercising your First Amendment constitutionally protected right, then you would think that these so-called protectors of those rights would respect that. But they don't. They tend to more so infringe that and violate that in any way, shape, or form whenever they see fit. And you saw that happening on your college campus. Speaking of these Trump rallies, that's another thing that people feel like should be controlled in some way, because they feel like Trump rallies are expressive of hatred, and Trump supporters are out there expressing, white nationalism and anti-Semitism and, hatred towards people of color, black people, brown people, whatever people, and there should be some constraint on freedom of speech. And you have this argument developing right now in the public. So, also with the whole punch a Nazi thing, people going out there feeling like they could call somebody a nigger and get away with it, whether they be black or white or whatever the case may be. But now we're seeing videos where there's protesters out there, expressing their disdain against the abuses of police power, and you have anti-protesters out there, counter-protesters out there arguing against them, and often being confrontational and it leading to some exchange. So I want to ask you, should freedom of speech be free from consequence? Because a lot of people feel like I should be able to express myself. I should be able to call you a nigger and you not assault me because I'm just telling you how I feel. Do you think that should be the case?
I think that's a bit of a misconception. The First Amendment means that the government can't lock you up. They can't throw you in a cage for saying something hateful or disgusting. That doesn't mean you're not going to get popped in the mouth for saying something fucking hateful in the streets. And truth be told, there absolutely need to be consequences for some things. You know, these people complain because they get fired. I was out there. I was actually standing in solidarity with a lot of the people in my community with Black Lives Matter. And across the street, there formed one of these strange Trump rallies where people felt very comfortable shouting some white nationalist shit. I got pictures of every one of their faces. I'm thankful that they felt comfortable coming out and letting us know where they stand, because I want to know who these people are. I think there do need to be consequences, and I think that the more that they feel comfortable speaking out, the more that we can kind of address these problems, honestly.
Yeah, we actually see that happening, a development of what they're calling the cancel culture, I guess, where you're having these people go out there and exposing these racists and, you know, these people. There was a recent video of some CEO, Silicon Valley CEO, tech tycoon, or whatever the case may be, expressing some racist, views towards some Asian people at a restaurant. And that's the thing, is they come out, expressing all of this hatred, and then they apologize and act like the shit's supposed to go away. And now in San Francisco, I believe they're considering something called the Karen Act, Caren, which is like criminals against racist something. I don't know, some acronym that they've created, but it's called the Karen Act, and it's supposed to prevent these calls to 911 and to authorities about disruptions that people feel. So yeah, they are developing consequences, but for those people that feel like they should be able to say whatever on their mind and be able to get away with it, it feels like there is some bit of a misunderstanding there, like you pointed out.
No, definitely. I mean, you have the right to express yourself, but you know, there's a line when you start to be hateful and disgusting. I think that you deserve to have some consequences in your real life, in your professional life.
Yeah, and it's like people feel like they should be, I don't know, should have to not worry about that for any reason at all, and have some bit of immunity of doing so. And speaking of immunity, this qualified immunity that happens in law enforcement, where they get to abuse their power, they get to be assaultive, they get to be violent against people and not have to worry about it. It's qualified immunity. Look it up, people. And there's actually a libertarian fighting to reverse that shit, get rid of it right now, by the name of Justin Amish. So look him up, look up qualified immunity, call your local representative and tell them to get on board with that bill that Justin Amish is pushing through. But with this idea of people feeling like they should correct themselves and be politically correct, it's caused this rift where people feel like they can't truly express themselves. They can't speak their minds. And we can't talk about, a black person doing this or a white person doing that or an Asian person doing this, because everything has become so political. It has political correctness killed the way that we are as Americans when it comes to freedom of speech, and is political correctness correct?
Gosh, I'm going to give you the worst possible. I felt like both ways about this. I've been of two minds. One is that it really sucks that like even comedians are getting just totally destroyed online for clearly making jokes, and it's hard to know where the line is anymore because everybody's very sensitive. And at the same time, I'm sympathetic to the idea that we as a community, we're trying to be more sensitive with our language. We're trying to evolve, and that's weird. That's an uncomfortable process. So I really don't know 100%. I kind of see both sides of it. I see the benefits of trying to be more #woke. I also see, we can be honest and real about things without it being hateful. So I don't know if it's gone too far.
Yeah. And with people feeling like, again, that there needs to be laws passed to restrict people from being able to express themselves, I feel like that's where we're getting out of control. And with us living in a country where we should have a book of rules that only puts the government in a box as far as limitations and what they can do. Now we the people, as long as we're being respectful of each other and, you know, not doing any harm to each other, even if we feel like, you know, someone said something that we may disagree with, like this person right here calling me a dumb fuck. I could be, you know, insulted by that. I could want to harm that person, but I could give a flying fuck what they think about me, you know? And that's just how I should roll and how I want to roll. Now, am I forcing other people to do that? No. And should I be allowed to force other people to do that? No. And I think that's where the misunderstanding comes into play, is people feel like that government should be used as a tool to politically correct society. Wouldn't you say?
I think the government is a very poor arbiter of morality, and we should not trust any decisions about social justice or social equality to an institution that has upheld inequality for its entire existence.
Wow, that's an eloquent way to put it, damn it. And very succinct also. Yeah, they are definitely unethical and immoral in their practice, and they definitely try to impose those restrictions upon us. We should be rebelling against it, like Matt Wright, who says weed, guns, and freedom 2020. You damn Skippy. I like the way you're thinking, Matt Wright. If we
Nice.
could get more people on board with that, I think we'd be better off here in America. But you were also talking about, you know, with you being in college and these free speech zones and I guess the bubbling up that has happened with free speech on campuses across the country. There seems to be another discussion of laws being passed to where students shouldn't be able to express themselves on student campuses. So that's also being considered on another level. But with college in general, you would think that that's something that shouldn't even be considered because you're paying for it. It's your damn money. And if you are paying for a place that is taking the authority to tell you what you can and cannot say, they should not be a body in existence. They should not be a body worthy of your money. And if you are wanting or willing to go there and pay for something like that, then, you know, that's your money. But college in this country went from something that used to be a desire for people for personal enrichment, for personal growth. You know, they would go there to meet people from different walks of life. If they come from, you know, some suburban area or specific neighborhood or whatever the case may be, it wasn't really made necessary in order to get further in life. We saw the, I guess, corporatization of colleges happening, commercialization happening of it back in the 80s and 90s, you know, where more and more people started to be pressed, the younger people be pressed to go to college just to get further in life. And that's led them to millions of dollars in debt. Here we are, you know, in America, the student loan debt is one of the largest debt bubbles, with like mortgage and credit card and auto and home debt combined or whatever the case. So with or with colleges being so in high demand, should it actually be important? Do you think, I mean, you yourself, you went to college. I don't know if you graduated, got your degree or whatever, but a lot of people go to college, either don't finish, and if they do finish, they get a degree, they get out of school, and they don't end up in a job that what they ended up attaining, you know, a degree for. So should college actually be important right now?
I can't speak for everybody's experience, but my own unfortunate conclusion is that this is a fucking scam, dude. This is a system of exploitation. They're tricking young children into taking out more loans than they would give to you or I. The bank wouldn't give us that kind of money if we wanted to start a small business, but they're happy to throw thousands and thousands of dollars at children who can't quite, you know, their frontal lobe isn't fully developed. And they're straddled with debt so that when they go out into the world and try to do the right thing and they try to set up their lives the right way, they're stuck paying for years and years and years. I mean, Obama didn't pay off his student loan debts until he was in the White House. So what does that say about what we're doing to the youth of this country? And in my own experience attending a public university where I got 4 degrees in 2 years. I did not come out a better person than I went in. And in fact, a lot of that was people feeding me their biases and taking my money. It was a waste of time.
Wow. And it's sad because a lot of people feel like that. You know, you're not alone. They go to college, they spend tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to obtain this piece of paper, get out of school, end up having to, you know, pay back that money. And they end up taking a job where it does not really serve them as a person. They hate the job, and they're more so doing it so they can pay off this obscene debt. So as a person, you would think you would want to flourish more so just by focusing on investing that money in a way to where you can be more prosperous versus digging yourself into a hole of debt. And more people seem to be focused on that nowadays. It seems to have become sort of like cultural, where people feel like if you don't obtain that college degree, you're not going to amount to anything in life. You're not worthy of any attention or reception. And it's a type of credential that will hold you back from getting even further. Wouldn't you say?
Dude, absolutely. And I would want to put it in perspective for people. And it's a painful thing to say and to realize, but I dropped out of high school and I have had jobs that have paid me better in my lifetime than my friends who have bachelor's degrees, and they're still paying off debt. So it really kind of puts it in perspective when you realize how hard people are working, thinking they're doing the right thing, when really it doesn't always pay off.
You're right about that, man. Yeah, that's a good point too, because I didn't go to traditional college. I actually went to recording school, and that benefited me in some way, but not really to where I'm now having to pay back the $15,000, and I'm not some big recording star. I'm not some big recording engineer, but I got to pay back that damn debt. But I've had jobs to where I've gotten paid $20, $30 an hour, more than. And you're right. It's people with bachelor degrees, associate's degrees, master's degrees, even, that don't even make that amount of money. And it's sad because this mentality has been kind of pressed upon us to where we feel like, especially the younger people in this country, the millennials are feeling like their hands are tied when it comes to actual opportunities that do not involve debt, right?
They feel like it's the only way out for a lot of them, and they don't realize they're too young to understand really what that responsibility means when they get older.
Yeah, and I mean, like, trades aren't really something that's considered either, like carpentry, mechanics, being an engineer, wiring, flooring, roofing, all of those things that never go out of style. We're always going to need those type of, professionals around, but those type of skills aren't really being cultivated by the public. So it's sad that we see like this decline of certain industries happening while there's a rise in others with this whole STEM thing that they're focusing on now in the K through 12 programs, because the focus is on science, technology, and all of that stuff. So it's sad that we're going to have a generation that's more so focused on sitting behind a computer all day long than actually getting out there and using their hands to get some work done.
Well, and in the abstract, I think the practice of sitting down in a room with somebody way smarter than you and learning from them is valuable. It might not correlate to just like, hey, if you take X class, you're going to get Y career. So we shouldn't be selling it to kids as like this sure ticket to a better life. But I think that school you made the proper connection earlier when you pointed to student loans, how guaranteed student loans have, led to a rise in the cost of tuition because people know that they can just milk money from the government. So the cost of tuition has gone up. If you get the government out of it, I tend to think it would be much cheaper and a much more reasonable investment.
Yeah, I mean, I actually worked for a company where we helped people get out of their student loan debt. And I spoke to so many families, that had 2 children, 4 children, or no children, that they were just buried by this debt. And it's sad to see this happening, but the government definitely provided, I guess, some bit of a relief through these student loan debt programs, debt relief programs that we the people pay for, the taxpayer. So it's like you're spending the money. It's like this wheel of your own money being used to create more debt, while at the same time providing an image that it is relieving the actual debt. So it's sad that we actually see this happening. But yeah, I do want to move along because I appreciate you for answering all of my questions. And like I said, I do want to be respectful of your time, as well as these people out there, their attention span, since they're about this small. But I'm about to pin you between a rock and a hard place on this next question, okay?
All right.
I hope you're ready, okay?
I'm ready.
Because this has been a long debated question here in America, especially between black and white people. And we're going to see if hopefully you and I can come to some bit of a conclusion, all right? So
All right.
what I like to do also is dispel any stereotypes or misunderstandings and kind of just get it all on the table. And like I said, one of the big debated things here in America that we've hear time and time again that we can't seem to come to a damn agreement on is who is the king of rock and roll? You strike me as somebody who may know. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give you an opportunity to answer this question. And yeah, just tell us who is the king of rock and roll, at least to you.
Damn, friend, I feel ill-equipped to answer this question. I listen to like death metal and like rap and electronic stuff. I don't actually listen to a lot of rock and roll. I don't feel equipped to answer that question honestly. I know.
What?
I know.
Well,
I feel terrible.
A form of rock and roll. I mean, you got to give me at least one that you would say.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. See, yeah, I do feel on the spot. I don't know that I can provide. I can't give you an educated answer to this because there's so much history to music, and I'm just ignorant of all of it.
I know, right? It's like you can't really just put it all on one man's shoulder, one woman's shoulders, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, rock is something that's definitely cultural, that extends beyond the whole black and white premise or whatever the case may be. I mean, I personally, I would say I come from a different generation. So if you were to ask me who is the king of rock and roll, I would say Prince, of course. You know, because
All right.
in my era or whatever, growing up, my generation, shit, he was the only one that was really rocking with a guitar like that. You know what I'm saying? For real. But hey, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. And I appreciate you for answering all of my questions, because I never know what the hell I'm going to ask my guests, and my guests never know what the hell I'm going to ask. You know, so I appreciate you for answering each one of them as you did. And the professor right here, this asshole who's been talking the whole time, says Hendrix is the king of rock. All right, I like
Reasonable.
I can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? We got one professor that we agree on. But other than that, you know, we need to talk more. But like I said, man, I appreciate you for being on the black side of liberty, talking to me about all of these crazy ass things, and for you just being involved in the liberty movement, because you have been very instrumental in just driving home the message to so many people and expanding our base of supporters here in California. We need more people, more boots on the ground, more people shaking hands, smiling in people's faces, giving them hugs, you know, face to face, such as yourself. So thank you for being out there on the front lines right alongside me, brother.
I appreciate you as well, man. I know firsthand how hard it is to work in this movement because, as we spoke about earlier, we serve a philosophy, not just a party. We serve something bigger than ourselves. And at times it can be frustrating to watch our comrades eating each other alive, to watch all the infighting. And I know how much strength it takes to keep going out there and doing this work. So I appreciate you. You're one of the people I emulate in this movement.
Thank you very much, man. We got much to learn from each other, and I feel like we're going to have plenty more time here in California to make much happen, especially with this recall going on. Recall Gavin Newsom, recall. We're not done yet. Brother Kevin Shaw, please, you guys out there, if you're watching, check him out on Facebook, Kevin Shaw for Liberty, and Darken HMK. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Definitely please connect with my brother Kevin Shaw, because he's going to continue to stay involved in the Libertarian Party here in California. Hopefully we can get his ass enthusiastic about running for office again in 2022, 2024, something like that. But we need somebody like him to represent we the people, and first we need you to support him. So please check him out at Kevin Shaw for Liberty. And Kevin, thank you so much again for being here with me, man. I appreciate you. God bless you.
Always a pleasure, friend.
Thank you. All right, you guys, please definitely check out my man Kevin Shaw, who is again chairman of the Libertarian Party of San Fernando Valley. So if you're out there in San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, neighboring cities, please connect with him and the Libertarians out there, because they need for you to get involved and bring more light to what's going on in our political scene. All right. So we're going to get to a few more of these comments before I get out of here, and I'm going to make a few announcements. The professor says this household will be laughing his ass off when you get arrested for following this so-called movement. This so-called movement will probably lead to you being arrested. Definitely. Martin Luther King got arrested. Malcolm X got arrested. Shit. Gandhi got arrested. Every freedom fighter that is out there fighting against this control system that has existed for so long has definitely been arrested by that system. Of course, fucking idiot, the professor. If you were a professor, then you would actually know that. And Scott Schmidt says too many conservatives in the libertarian movement. That's not true. We're all conservative. We're all liberal. Truly, as Americans, I mean, we definitely want to conserve our money. We don't want to be wastefully spending it. That's what's happening right now in our government, which is why we're 23 or 26 or nearing $30 trillion in debt. And the national debt clock continues to go up and up and up. And the reason being is because they're spending our money. We need to definitely be reining them in on our spending. And Anthony says, power to you, brother. Fight the power. I appreciate that. I'm going to definitely keep fighting the power, man. Thank you, Anthony Scott, the professor. Shika L. I believe I may be saying that incorrectly. But thank you, TJ, my man TJ in the house, Matt Wright, Cody L. All of you guys for watching, dropping comments during the broadcast. I appreciate you. All of you out there that are watching that didn't say a damn thing, I appreciate you for stopping through as well. Definitely keep spreading the word, and please definitely help let everybody in California know about this recall for Gavin Newsom. We need to recall Gavin Newsom now. Recall Gavin. 2020.com. Please definitely help spread the message. Share this video so people can find out more reasons as to why they should probably recall his ass. But if they live in California, trust me, they would need not be told much more than what they probably already experienced themselves. So we need wet signatures. Check out their website, print out the petition, sign it, and then circulate it in your community, okay? Please do that as many times as possible, and let's get Gavin Newsom out of office now. And of course, if you live in a state to where your primary was delayed because of the coronavirus lockdown and you haven't had your election yet, your primary election, please definitely get your ass out there and vote, even if it's by mail vote. They're giving you every chance to vote except online. So please utilize any way that you can to go out and vote. Vote Libertarian. Vote for Libertarian Jo Jorgensen, who could use your vote so she could get on that election, on that debate stage, presidential debate stage, which is what we would like. Someone else up there other than Biden and Trump's dumbass, okay? And let's see. Oh yeah, of course. Before I get out of here, I do want to share this with you guys. Let's see. Check this out. We're going to be having an event here in Fresno. If you are in Fresno this Saturday, March 11th, we're having the March for a Better Fresno. Please come out and check it out. Please come out and check it out because it's going to be a wonderful engagement. We're going to have people there from the Black Lives Matter movement, but also those people in the community that are supporting the recall as well and the reopening for California. So we're trying to bring together anybody and everybody to stand for a stand against the injustices that have happened here in California, here in Fresno particularly. And of course, we definitely want to make sure that we bring some attention to that. So bear with me just a moment, you guys. I actually forgot to make an announcement. Another one for you. Let's see. All right, so. All right, and last screen I want to get up on you guys, let's see, is to come up, of course, to the next show, which will be next week, Tuesday. Please come back to the Black Side Liberty. Next week, Tuesday, we'll be talking with Darren Miller, who is a former candidate for Fresno City Council. Hopefully, we can get him out to the event here this Saturday. We can talk to him more about it, and I'll be reporting to you, and we can talk to him about the event as well. So please come back to the Black Side of Liberty next week, Tuesday, and we'll talk more then, all right? So, I got a few more comments. Unique says, just watched you get harassed for getting gas. Bless you. Yes. Hey, I've been through some shit, but together we can definitely get rid of all of the injustices, all of the violations against our civil liberties, and restore some freedom for once. That's what we want to do. So thank you, Unique Valdez, for watching my videos as well. And yes, there are tons of haters out there, but I appreciate all the love that you guys showed me. So till next time, may the light of God and liberty shine on each and every one of you. Please continue to spread the word, and long live liberty, y'all. Peace.